on. Are you seeing this?
Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. We're gonna do your August TikTok video today because that seems to end up being most of my first week of the month videos, even though I know technically it's the second week. I had a hard week last week, okay? Anyways, let's get right into the video. Today's video does have a sponsor, so we're gonna roll that and we'll get right into the videos. So have you guys been like watching the girl dinner trend on TikTok lately? It's going pretty viral.
Girl dinner.
I have been absolutely obsessed with it lately because I, for one, am a expert in girl dinner. I'm single, I live alone. Putting snacks together to make up some hodgepodge of a meal is like sort of my raison d'etre. However, I do have other days where I am actually craving a full, healthy meal with nutrient protein and actual veggies. So if you still want that girl dinner lazy vibe that we all crave, but you do want a full healthy meal for it, highly suggest Factor. Factor is a meal service that brings a box of fresh, never frozen, already prepared meals right to your door. You just pop them in your fridge, and when you need something quick but delicious, it's there. 2 minutes in the microwave and you have an actually great tasting hot meal. That means you get to skip the grocery shopping, you get to skip the prepping, the chopping, the cooking, and the cleaning up. Imagine how much extra time you'd have in your day and your summer. I wish I had Factor when I worked at a regular 9-to-5 job because I always struggled to bring lunch to work, often getting snacks from the vending machine, literally. And I would have loved to have Factor at work. I would have just put it in the break room fridge and then popped it in the microwave for a couple minutes during my lunch break. Like, Factor is good for so many things. It resolves so many issues. You can also, with Factor, round out your meal and replenish your snack supply. You know, we all love snacks, especially with girl dinner, because they have an assortment of more than 45 add-ons, including breakfast items like their delicious apple cinnamon pancakes. They have bacon and cheddar egg bites and a potato, bacon, egg breakfast skillet. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HannahTheHorrible50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's factor75.com with code HannahTheHorrible50. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Okay, as per usual, if you want to go look up any of these creators yourself on TikTok, their usernames are always in the video on the screen. However, please, of course, as always, and this should go without saying, I shouldn't need to tell anybody this, please do not go leave hate of any kind to the people that create these videos. It's just spooky videos. We're all just trying to get a good scare here. Suspend your disbelief if you are absolutely sure that it's fake. It really doesn't matter in the long run. So let's just have actual fun with this, okay? Everybody grab coffee, tea, or beverage and buckle in. Let's watch the first video. This is from a creator named AJ Hurst, and I got tagged in this one quite a bit.
Finally caught on camera.
It's bed round 2. So AJ's just been trying to turn this lamp off. Yeah. He turned it off, it clicked. The light stayed on. We've just settled for bed. And the lights just decided to turn back on.
It's actually flicked the other way.
We really need to get some cameras or something sorted, like, desperately.
Well, maybe jump up and scan
Bye for now. Right, I don't really have night mode, so I don't know how this is gonna go. We shall see if it turns back on like it just has.
That's why it's only right.
Turn it off.
It's all well and good. Right, it's off.
Off. Right. Just mute the telly. Oh god, I'm actually like half notifications right. Oh god, right.
It's not
Third time's lucky. being filmed.
Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. What?
Oh my god.
So to recap, this couple has found that this lamp by their bedside table keeps turning on all by itself, and it is obviously really freaking them out. They have denied over and over to all the questions about the lamp just being on a timer. They showed us how the lamp is hooked up in order to prove this. My mind went to this was hooked up to his phone somehow, like he's able to turn the light on and off with his phone, but that lamp is probably too old to be hooked up to a phone in any simple manner, as well as the fact that if you listen in the video very carefully, you can actually hear the lamp click on, like the actual switch gets clicked, so it's probably not either of those. The most likely explanation is this comment that was left on their video. Electrician here, old light fitting. Springs inside these are known to be faulty and click the opposite direction when not pushed all the way through, which makes perfect sense to me, especially because I'm going to believe somebody who at least says they're an electrician over my own logic. So personally, the lamp thing in itself, I don't think is any sort of paranormal thing. I think it's more likely that there's just like a faulty setting in the lamp. However, if you listen to the video again, a lot of people started pointing out that you can hear whispering in the video. Most people believe that the thing, whatever's whispering in the video, is saying do it. Either that or turn around. Those two are the biggest, most popular theories of what the thing is saying. I listened to this so many times and I do actually hear it. So I'm going to play it for you again, just that part of the video a few times so you can hear what I'm talking about.
We really need to get some cameras or something sorted, like desperately.
What made me jump out my skin?
We really need to get some cameras or something sorted, like desperately.
What made me jump out my skin?
So that part, I don't know. I think the lamp is pretty easy to prove that it's not a ghost. For example, a lot of people suggest that they just simply unplug the lamp for a few nights and see if it still miraculously turns on, because supposedly paranormal ghosts can mess with your electricity, so it should theoretically be able to turn the lamp on even if it was unplugged. If it's unplugged and it still doesn't do that, then I think it's pretty safe to assume that it's not a ghost but a faulty light setting. Do it. I personally think it says do it in the whispering part is, I will admit, that is creepy and I don't really have an explanation for it. I'm not sure I believe that, again, it's a ghost, but I do think that it does sound odd. So they either added that in or there's some other explanation for that, but I don't know. That is creepy. I will give them that. Okay, so this next video is a Gettysburg video, another Gettysburg ghost. This is from Top View. This is not their video. This is a repost, as those channels do. Okay, so let's watch this one together. This one is pretty interesting.
All right, we're here in Gettysburg, just before the 150th. Where should I stop?
Just pull off here.
Want to try to film something here?
Yeah.
They said there's activity here before, but all right, so we're gonna sit here for a while and just kind of film the camera.
A lot of troops left in here.
See what happens. I was told by a ranger. Was it about in this area here, Jay, that the ranger said that there's been some activities? They heard some rumors about seeing some sightings of something that they can't explain.
There's a lot of troops that left over here, so the activity should be strong.
All right, we'll record for like maybe half an hour or so, and then we'll move our Devil's Den maybe after that.
Yeah, that'll be a good spot next.
And then overpack tickets charged.
Yeah, maybe we can pick up something from there.
Tickets hard though, because I can't really. Unless we have flashlights, I guess I can shine it from the parking. So, all right, that's all right. We'll videotape here for a while.
Okay.
Let's be quiet though, okay? Holy crap! Down by the canyon, see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Did you, honestly?
I wouldn't believe it unless we recorded it.
Holy crap! Down by the canyon, see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
Okay, everybody prepare for condescending Hannah to come out just a little bit on this one. So this TikTok says that it was a Gettysburg ghost sighting on the 5th of May, 2013. So for those of you that don't know or you aren't from the US, Gettysburg is a pretty famous town in Pennsylvania, famous for being a major battle site during our Civil War in the late 1800s. Because thousands and thousands of soldiers died in that battle, it's said that this area is extremely haunted. Many people claim to see ghosts of soldiers in this area. Now, like I said, this account is not the original poster of this video. I did find what I think is the most original version on YouTube by a channel called Reflections of America. Again, I'm not sure if that channel actually recorded this or if they were just the one that posted on YouTube, but it was actually posted on May 4th, 2013, which already makes the TikTok inaccurate because it said it was on May 5th, 2013, but there's a video of it the day before on YouTube, but okay. And that one has 3 million views, so I can only assume that that is the most original version that we have. The only other info that I could find on this was that there was apparently the people talking in the video were ghost hunters, like they go around and do this for a living, I assume. Like I said, I'm gonna get a little condescending here because this one is BS for sure. It doesn't even look real, but okay, first of all, their acting is terrible. Their acting is so bad, I can't stand it. The fact that they're like, let's just park here. They say there's a lot of activity here. Keep the camera perfectly on that area where the light is. Said they're sitting there for a half hour, whatever. Like, okay, fine. But when they see this dead soldier ghost near the cannons, they're like, oh, what is that? Do you see that? And I do have to also point out that it's a lot easier to act when the camera's not on your face for a TikTok, because saying whatever, sounding shocked and everything is one of the more easy things to act out. Whereas if the camera's on you and you're trying to act, like, I do think that tricks more people when it's just a voiceover and you don't actually see them. But I think they're just acting. Second of all, the actual ghost looks like they're wearing clothes, which has always confused me for ghost sightings where people say they see somebody who actually looks like the way they did as a human. So their clothes turned into ghosts with them? What? I see, that part doesn't make any sense to me. My personal theory is that if ghosts do exist, which I'm not convinced they are, but if they do exist, I don't think that they would actually look so similar to the person that they're wearing the clothes and the hats that they wore and everything like that. I think it would be more of like the shadows and like the mist kind of thing that we see. So I don't buy that anyway, but even if you do buy that and you think that's what ghosts look like, this particular video looks edited. Like, it doesn't even look that convincing. It's clearly somebody walking and they took an overlay and put it by the canyons, or they had somebody walk out there and they just decreased the opacity on the video or on the figure out there to make it look more see-through, it would be very easy to do. But it doesn't even really look that blended in and everything, and the way that it moves and then just like disappears into nothing would also be a very, very easy fade out transition in video editing software. Sorry, but yeah. And then lastly, along with all of that, the bad acting, they were vague enough so that they could edit in other stuff later. Like they didn't, even if they didn't know exactly what they were going to edit into the video, they're vague enough with their, oh, did you see that over by the canyons? Like they didn't say specifically what he looked like or anything like that. And I just find that also suspicious that you could theoretically put a lot of different things in this video and they made it non-specific enough that they could add the ghost in later and the video would still make sense. So all that to say is I'm sorry, but no. This one's so fake. Okay, the next video is from an account called Circus Siblings.
It's Tristan. Hit record.
Shut the door, make sure it clicks. Okay, stand back.
Open it up. Play your footage. Stop. Play it live. Play it live.
Listen, I do really appreciate the way this family filmed this. I do very much appreciate the fact that they know people are going to doubt it, and so they filmed the whole thing without any cuts. They had multiple cameras on. It had already been happening, so they were trying to catch it again. They filmed it from the inside and the outside and made sure not to cut anything, and then showed the video right in the video. Like, you know what I mean? You saw it. But I do really, really appreciate that. It does make me believe that the door itself, regardless of the explanation, was moving, and that part is definitely true. They did post a couple more follow-up videos of this door or other things around this cabin. I believe that they were staying in this cabin on vacation, and the family starts to believe that this cabin is haunted because of the various things they're experiencing. So like I said, I think this really happened. I don't think they were using string or anything like that. I do think that this really did actually occur. But if that happened to me, my brain wouldn't go to it must be a ghost. My brain would go to it must be a faulty door. The door's not in its frame correctly and the latch is not clicking correctly. Yeah, even though they clicked it closed, like there must be something wrong with the door. If you look at the other footage of the cabin they post, it's a pretty old looking cabin. There's probably a lot of faulty things in that cabin. And it's just interesting, if I was on vacation with my parents or something and we discovered something like that, we wouldn't be like, ghost. We'd be like, what the hell's wrong with the door? That door doesn't close all the way, whatever, and move on with our day. It's just very odd to me that like sometimes people do like not look for an explanation and they just jump to, well, it must be a ghost. I don't think it's a ghost. I think it's just the way the door is. However, shout out to the girl in this family who in this video is super confident.
You just did it and it opened.
I command you to open that door.
Like, I command you to open that door. Like, they do say be very confident with ghosts and that they feed off of fear more. And so if they do exist, I do love how this kid honestly obviously knows what to do. Like, that's who I want in my group if I had ever had a haunted house or some sort of paranormal issue. Love her. Okay, a video from Blake WTF is next. So this video is super creepy. It is very plausible. It does not seem to be set up, you know. I mean, we will find out that it is, but I do love how natural it looks and how the person filming it saw it and got a glimpse of it in the camera, but then was just noped out of there and just like smoothly turned the corner. Wonderful. Love that. Also love that it says Walmart in Detroit because, again, as we know, there's lots of memes about Walmart. Walmart is known for where the wacky, weird, strange people sometime appear to go. So it just makes this video way more believable and seems more real. If you go to the creator's page, though, it is pretty quickly apparent that this is not real. Blake WTF is Blake WTF across all social media, and Blake WTF is a filmmaker, and all of the videos, as you can see from his profile, like all the videos are devoted to making this zombie series. Blake WTF is clearly passionate about zombies and horror as well, so they seem to be starting some sort of series about zombies. This is a great way to market yourself as an artist or a filmmaker, and making TikToks like this that just seem like normal creepy TikToks is a really great way to go viral and get more people interested in your films. So I think that's a really great way to get your stuff out there. I think it's cool. Okay, this next one is from Ricky Eat World's account. We're just gonna watch this one blindly as well.
I sit by myself, talking to the moon. Ricky!
So right away, I'm suspicious of this video. The way the curtain is set up right there, the way the camera is set up, angled perfectly, filming at the right time to catch this weird shadow entity behind that sheet hanging up. Like, seems all a little too convenient for me. The creator has defended themselves when people point this stuff out by saying that he's had a lot of paranormal activity in the home, so he set up cameras everywhere to try to catch it. So there is a reason for the cameras being up, and that the sheet is up because it's like acts like a curtain because they have a window area behind that sheet. Fair enough. But my thing is like, okay, if this is real, why aren't you showing us the rest of the clip? You turned the camera off at some point. I highly doubt you turned it off right after a child ran out of the room after looks like they saw this thing behind the sheet. So where's the rest of the clip? Let's see it. Let's see it either disappear or, see it emerge into some other ghost or entity. But I know that this creator can't, and they won't, because it's a person sitting behind the sheet and obviously just moves closer to the sheet so that their head makes a darker shadow in the sheet while filming. Just to be sure, I did watch a few more of this creator's videos as well for, again, as expected, most of their videos are all their ghostly evidence that they've caught on camera. This one, for example, the second I see these cliche kitchen nighttime cameras where ghosts supposedly go into the kitchen and just open all of the drawers and cabinets all at the same time, that is so dramatic. That's not a thing. I'm like immediately out after I see that stuff now. If ghosts exist and they do haunt just random homes, assuming all that is true, like let's just hypothetically say ghosts are real. Paranormal investigators, people, there are real paranormal investigators that actually do devote their lives to finding out if ghosts are real or not. They say in real haunting videos and evidence they have seen, activity is not that high ever. Like, they're not that blatantly obvious. They would never do that. So anytime I see something so outrageous like that, like your whole kitchen, just all the cupboards opening, like a scene from Paranormal Activity, I'm just immediately like, cool, so green screen scoot or some other camera trick. Absolutely not. So also calling BS on this one for sure. If I'm wrong, if that entity is real, great. Show us the rest of the clip. I want to see the original clip and I want to see the whole thing. Iceman Fox 1 posted this next video. It's sitting at over 14 million views at the time of filming this.
Dalton. Dalton, are you seeing this? Bro, my heart just sank, dude. Dog, did you just see that? Dude, I got all of that on video.
Pretty good video, huh? That is actually, I mean, like, well-made video. It looks convincing. Lots of comments on the video saying Project Bluebeam. You're going to see that a lot on TikTok. If you ever go to the alien UFO side of TikTok, you're going to see that a lot. Project Bluebeam is essentially a conspiracy theory that is part of the New World Order conspiracy theory, essentially. The whole thing saying that there is aliens, that we have proof of it, but the government's covering it up because they don't want us to know about it. And just FYI, like, if you watched my Happy Meat Farms video, we talked about this in part 2, but the New World Order conspiracy theory actually has pretty darn racist, anti-Semitic roots. And maybe, like, maybe don't go talking about Project Bluebeam, because as far as I understand, that is Project Bluebeam is a part of the New World Order conspiracy. So like, maybe don't spread that stuff around as if it's a real possibility, because you're perpetuating anti-Semitism. I'm guessing most people so far don't know that. Like, I understand that. Like, I'm not saying people are doing it maliciously, but just FYI, like, maybe if you know, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry to say or am I happy to say that there is a very simple explanation for this video as well. Don't let the comments saying this is the best UFO evidence they've ever seen confuse you. If you look at the caption of this video at the very, very, very bottom, it says, filmed with digital combat simulator. The page that posted this video says right in their bio, realistic DCS, digital combat simulator videos. To give everybody who believed this the benefit of the doubt, to be fair, they did post a pretty misleading caption. I should say a pretty clickbaity caption saying, breaking, 3 UFOs are intercepted by USAF F-22 Raptors over the central Nevada desert, and then doesn't say that it's a simulator until the very end of the caption. That is a little misleading, a little tricky. Not sure I really like that. Like, clearly trying to scare some people. However, their whole entire account, if you just click on their account, says that that's what they do. So this is a flight simulator game. It was never a real video, and this somehow went viral, but it was never a real video. The original creator was never trying to actually fool people, as far as I know. Okay, let's go to one that is probably real. This is from the creator Andriel Sigler. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. This, like I said, this one is probably real, and I don't like it. I don't like this one. This scares me.
On June 25th, I heard a woman screaming across the street from my house.
Bro, what the do you hear this? Tell me you hear this. Hold on. Dude, it's... Please, whatever it is. It's like this intense screeching.
I couldn't catch it on camera, so I ignored it. On July 1st, I heard the same scream. I called the police. The man told the police, that's my pet chihuahua. It screams when I put it in a crate. I let it go because there's nothing I could do. That was July 1st. And the following week, July 9th, I heard an even worse scream for help. I called the police. The police spoke with the man. He claims it was his chihuahua again in a crate, screaming. I uploaded the video of the scream, and you guys found the chihuahua in the window. Because she can hear it too. There's that scream again. I just heard the scream. As the scream goes down, the chihuahua's mouth is closed on the front porch. I got so stressed over this, I had to go out of town for a few days. No, the police have not been in the basement. No, the police have not searched the house. This is happening in Jamestown, New York. I don't know who the man is that lives in the house. Searching his address, a different person comes up, a young 21-year-old girl, and 2 elderly people from Puerto Rico who literally moved out last year are still listed as the current owners. The house was sold in November of 2022. If I continue hearing screams, I will continue recording it. So far, it's a pattern that happens every 6 to 8 days. I'm going back home tonight, and I can assume I won't hear the scream for another 4 or 5 days, since it happens every 6 to 8 days. I know that you're watching this vicariously through my TikTok, but it has been terrifying living across from a house with screams coming out from what I feel is the basement or the first level floor. All of these videos you can find in my playlist called The Screaming House.
We're going to take a quick sidetrack here. Very, very sorry, but there's a ton of people in the comments just because this woman does not shave her armpits. And I just don't want to see a bunch of comments like that on my video. It's like, she obviously, I don't think she gives a shit what people think, but it's really upsetting to me seeing like people make really cruel comments about this and then a bunch of people agreeing with them and everybody liking that. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people that they're more concerned about a woman's body hair than they are about her trying to tell us that somebody might be in trouble and that there's might be a DV situation going on here and that she's scared for somebody's life and all we can focus on is her fucking body hair. I don't know what that means about the world, but it can't be good. Okay, I digress. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, second of all, like I said, this video does legitimately concern me. I am afraid that people seeing the Chihuahua like not in the crate, it does legit sound like something scary is happening. I have unfortunately heard recordings of situations where DV is happening, and it sounds very similar to that. I'm not accusing whoever this is of it because we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure is what is going on. All I can say is I hope other people in the area are also witnessing this and not just this person posting on TikTok about it, because if other people in the area are hearing this and also calling the police are going to be more urgent about it, or maybe call somebody else in about it, because obviously they cannot enter the home without a warrant and everything. But if they do have enough evidence and enough concerned people, perhaps the guy, if he's innocent, will prove definitively that it is not a woman in distress, and or the police will be able to gather enough evidence that they could get a warrant or something, because that is scary. I would guess, like I said, I would guess if this is a bad situation, again, allegedly, if this is a bad situation, I would guess this was DV rather than some sort of hostage kidnapping, because I assume if it was a hostage / kidnapping, there would be a missing persons report in that area that would have been probably traced to them. But who knows? This is scary as hell. I don't like this whatsoever. Freaks me out. Way scarier than any paranormal video in my humble opinion, because that could be somebody actually in trouble. And obviously there's not enough evidence for anybody to actually do anything about it as of now. Very scary. Joss World posted this next video. A lot of you guys tagged me in this one.
I'm so fucking scared right now. It's currently 1 in the morning and my boyfriend is at work. It's just me and my son. And hold on. I just heard keys. I just heard keys open my door. So I'm thinking he might come home early. He don't supposed to get off till the morning. So I hear movement, I hear jiggling, I hear keys, and I hear movement in the living room. Now my son's room is across from our room, and we have motion lights in there for him, so when he wake up at night, in case he crawl out the bed. I'm about to show y'all. Completely dark. You have to step in his room to activate the motion light, right? There's 2 of them. Which, if I cut off my bathroom light, I can see that light on from my room, right? Ooh, y'all. So, I'm thinking he went in there to check on the baby, because he do that. He always come in the house no matter what time it is, and he check on him first. So, hold on, my baby. After a good, maybe like 5 minutes, I don't hear him moving no more. So I'm like, damn, is he gonna come in the room? Like, you know, like me and the baby in the room. I know he didn't see the baby was in his bed because I got him out and I put him in bed with me because sometimes I don't like sleeping by myself. This apartment is kind of weird. We just moved here a few months ago and it's just always been like little shit. Like, that's another story though. But so I fucking get up. I get up and I go out here. And ain't nobody here, y'all. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. I turned all the lights. I'm walking around the house. There's nobody fucking here. How can motion lights come on without motion? I heard keys. I heard movement in my living room. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Like, I heard that shit. Clear as day. Clear as fucking day. Not a dream. And there's nobody fucking here but me and my son. Oh my God.
First of all, I want to make it abundantly clear that I do believe this one. At least I believe the story that she told, that she experienced. I feel so bad for this woman. She just, like, you can tell genuine fear, right? And like, you know, we were talking about bad acting before. This is not acting. She's crying actual tears. Again, the story's not super clear. She like jumbles up details of the story, which again makes me think even more convinced that she's telling the truth and everything. But I do believe this woman is genuinely scared and that this happened. She heard something. So if you missed the detail like I did the first time watching, it's important to note that her son, who's very, very young, was in bed with her at the time. So it's not like her son made the light turn on and it wasn't her son that was like rattling stuff around or causing the movement or anything like that. Because like she said, she gets scared in the apartment when her boyfriend's at work sometimes. So she sleeps with her son in her bed with her so that she doesn't feel so alone. She probably feels like she can protect him better too. So there was nobody in his room. And she swears her boyfriend came home and he didn't. The motion light itself, I could think of an explanation for that. Like, it's not ideal, but it is possible that a bug, most likely an arachnid, a spider, crawled over the motion light in the house. And if it crawled right over it, that could totally turn the motion light on. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I know that is a creepy thing to think about, but it's better than an intruder or a ghost, right? So that's my thought on the motion light. However, the fact that the motion light went on after she heard somebody moving in the living room and keys, I hate that so much. I also feel really bad for her because she couldn't call the police, or for whatever reason felt like she couldn't call the police probably because she couldn't find anybody. Like, there wasn't actually anybody in the home, so she couldn't justify calling police. Like, what is she going to say? I think there's a ghost in my house or something like that. I mean, technically you could call police anytime you're feeling unsafe. If you wanted an officer to come and just check out your home for you, they probably would. But I don't know the circumstances, so I don't know. You know, there's a bunch of reasons why people wouldn't call the police too, right? But maybe there's another explanation for it that we just can't think of. Again, that's what I'm hoping for, because whatever this was, I don't like that. I would have peed my pants. I would have been crying like her. Yeah, I just feel so bad for her because nobody deserves to have that happen to them. So scary. And she's also already scared to be in that apartment by herself. And that incident probably did not help. Next account, this is number 9. Catsup. I don't know. With Doug is the account, and he is also going to do like a simulation glitch in the Matrix story. I really like this one as well.
I don't necessarily believe we live in a simulation, but after visiting Bluff, Utah, I can't rule it out as a possibility. We got to the hotel. It was a portable building. Like when your elementary school got too small for all the kids in it and they put extra buildings out back for the teachers they didn't like. That was our hotel room. But that doesn't prove anything. It didn't even make me start thinking weird. But it's what the front desk lady said that everyone else in town said to me too that got me wondering. We went to the little market and we got a variety of things, candy bars, some stuff to make sandwiches, drinks, bread. We got back to the room, we noticed everything had expired 2 weeks earlier. And those things don't have the same shelf life, like bread and Coca-Cola and a candy bar all expiring 2 weeks earlier at the same time. And when we tried to check out, the lady at the counter said the same phrase that the hotel clerk said. Went to the one restaurant we found in town, and the waitress, we'd ask her questions like, hey, can we get pickles with that sandwich? She would say, I don't know, it's my first day working here. We went to the cashier. I asked her if I could add a tip onto the bill. She said, I don't know, it's my first day working here. I tried to check out with all my expired food at the market. The credit card didn't work, and the lady's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's my first day working here. The front desk lady at the portable building of a hotel took over an hour to find our reservation because she didn't know how to work the computer because it was her first day working there. I'm just saying, if we are living in a simulation, I think no one had traveled to Bluff, Utah in a few years and it hadn't been rendered in a while. When they saw me coming, they just rendered it real fast and nothing quite worked.
I love it. Now, I'm not sure about this one completely just because, I mean, it is hard when we just have somebody's word for it and that's it. We don't have anything else to go on. But I do personally believe the story itself, just from a quick Google search, Bluff, Utah is a very, very small town, like incredibly small. And this story that he told is really interesting, but also mundane at the same time. Like nothing outlandish happens. Everything in the story is believable. And I think if somebody was making up a story, it would have some like crazy ending that wraps it all together and everything. And I don't know, it does seem plausible to me. So I personally do, my gut tells me that this guy is telling the truth about that. So while I believe the story itself, I'm not sure that this is like proof of a simulation or any other bizarre phenomenon though. Some people in the comments did have some suggestions for logical explanations. Like a few people thought maybe it was performance art. For me, I personally, my favorite explanation and the most likely to me seems like it's just a prank that everybody in this town likes to play on outsiders. Like I said, it's a very, very small town. Like from what I could find, just a few hundred people in it. So it's one of those towns where no doubt everybody knows everyone. And perhaps the random minimum wage workers in the town have talked to each other. They all know each other. And it's an ongoing joke where when anybody that looks like they're out of town or not in the area, again, if they know everybody, they know when somebody is not from there. It's very easy to tell, right? And because they know they're not from there, they mess with them by all of the workers saying this same thing or finding a way to put this into the conversation. I could totally see that happening. And if you're bored in a small town, I would probably do the same thing. They kind of know that their town has a weird vibe and that it creeps people out, so they're playing along. As for all the food that he bought at the store that was all expired, like from the same date 2 weeks ago, yeah, that is very strange. I will give him that, especially because most grocery stores are good about expiration dates. However, it sounded like mostly shelf-stable food that he was talking about. And maybe that's just all that shipment came in at the same time. And that's like just what the dates were. And that's what was on the shelves. I have no idea, but I will give him that. That is a strange detail. Kind of makes me want to go to Bluff, Utah myself and go to some of these similar places and see if I can figure out what he was talking about or see if I have the same experience. So yeah. All right. The last video today is from an account named Julie. She's going to tell us something about Area 51.
The Abigail Project might be one of the reasons why Area 51 is so heavily guarded. There's a secret inside of Area 51 called the Abigail Project. It's the most extreme human experiment ever conducted. The story was leaked by a former cleaner who worked at the site in question. The cleaner agreed to reveal this story at the cost of his own life because he was unable to continue carrying the heavy burden of keeping this secret. Back in 1945, after World War II, Area 51 was a top-secret facility named Indian Springs Air Force Auxiliary Camp. It housed advanced weapons and eventually became a hub for terrifying biological experiments. Driven by the desire to create a super soldier, scientist Dr. Western began conducting a very dangerous experiment. Dr. Western desired a kind of Captain America, extremely strong and robust, whose wounds healed quickly and could withstand extreme fatigue, harsh conditions, and very long periods without eating or drinking. But Dr. Western needed a volunteer. The first option was vagrants or prisoners, but Western needed a completely healthy individual with excellent physical and moral condition. So after some thought, he made a decision. With no volunteers, Dr. Western made a horrifying decision. He chose his own daughter Abigail to be the subject of the experiment. Abigail underwent gruesome surgeries, implants, and substance tests. She was mutilated, drugged, and exposed to torture. Abigail's appearance had changed drastically. Her bones became massive, but the skin had stretched a lot too, so that it looked wrinkled on her elongated limbs. Her teeth started to grow really big, and her behavior became more animalistic and less rational. Many of Dr. Western's colleagues urged him to stop the Abigail project. He was too stubborn and the damage was irrecoverable. Dr. Western knew that if they ended the project, Abigail would definitely die, since her disfigured body now depended on technology and conditions that were in the base to survive. Some of the cooks that were employed at Area 51 revealed to the man who leaked the story originally that they were ordered to prepare huge plates of food that they had to introduce through a slot in a room sealed with a steel door. They never knew for sure what was behind the door, but they knew that there were rumors about a monster that was on the inside. They also said that on several occasions they managed to see Western standing in front of the door crying or talking to this creature. Eventually, Abigail ended up losing what was left of her humanity. The Abigail project had officially failed, and Dr. Western finally realized what a mistake he had made. Dr. Western was so consumed by guilt that he tragically ended his own life. But before he did this, he strongly begged that his daughter not be murdered, and that they try to return her to normal or at least leave her alive.
All right, so this is a great story. Again, I hope this doesn't disappoint anybody because it's good that this was not real, but this is definitely a creepypasta. Creepypastas are short horror fiction, just random stories that people make up that get copy and pasted on the internet over time so much that they become urban legends. I love creepypastas. I used to listen to podcasts that recite creepypastas all the time. I mean, it's how we got Slender Man and so many other urban legends. Love creepypastas. But they are fictional, and this story is no different. The picture of the woman who is used in not only Julie's video, but any other video or topic that you find about this particular creepypasta, and this is definitely not somebody named Abigail. This is actually a model. Her name is Sunny Harnett. She's an American model who worked mostly in the 1950s. She didn't show it in her video, but there's another photo that is often associated with this story as well. If you do Google image search or you find other things on the web about Project Abigail, and that is this picture. I'm sure most of you recognize this. It's often used also to depict the Russian sleep experiment, which is another very famous creepypasta. This photo has been debunked many times, though. It's not real. It's a Halloween prop named Spasm. It was simply edited to look more vintage and realistic, so that black and white creepy photo is the one that's spread around the internet as if it is a real photo of a person. So don't worry, there's absolutely no evidence that this is true. It's all just a story that we created because of our fascination with Area 51 and how mysterious it is, which I understand. It is interesting, and it does make a good story. If you want to hear the rest of the story, as Julie promised in that video, you can go to her account and watch her part 2, or of course this story is available on the web. Okay guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and please like the video to help the channel out, and check out our sponsor Factor. Just because you need more to-do lists. Also, check out my podcast that I do with Midkey Atkins. That is always linked in the description down below as well, if you're interested in me and my life and my own weird opinions and not the horror side. All right, I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. Really appreciate you all. Our top tiers are Colin Holmes, The Deck of Cards, Michelle Valdovinos, Tom L, Little Kittle Cat, Mitchell Schaefer Meyer, Mike, Alice Paul, Brittany Phillips, Momo Neon, Marita 140, 44, Sage K, Elderly Hipster, The Puppy Hag, Rebecca Jackson, Toby, Carter, Comic-Con Anime and Gaming Convention, Sarah the Crazy Fish Lady, Blood for the Koi, Maxie, Ellison Luna, Julietta, Tiny Mighty Bookworm, A Bunny apparently, Leon Vanek, Literally Lacey, Elliot Fink, I Am In Your Walls, Habromania, Cyberdog Investigations LLC, Vicky Cat, Amy B, Tickerch, Dead Without the E, Ball, Olivezilla, Chara, MH Dave, Ami, Lindsay R, Miss T, Ordinary Alpaca, and our newest alien top tier, Lou George.